most for one.
We'll see what it is in the back.
A lot, of course.
Yeah. I can send you my Wi-Fi password if you need it. But
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we'll start up here and just talk about shit.
Okay, good.
So you've been out here a year?
Yeah, I used to live out here in the 90s. I helped build everything with my dad. My dad died. My mom stayed here. She's elderly, so I came out here to
Oh, is she still around?
Yeah.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
I moved my dad down from northern Wisconsin when he was 75.
Oh, man.
Lived for 18 years in Bisbee.
Oh, wow.
Best 18 years of his
Sebastian.
life.
Yeah,
You know?
so you brought him back?
He died in Bisbee at 93.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, he went. I told him, I said, Dad, it's in the cold weather manual.
Uh-huh.
Anything over 60 years old.
Howdy.
Slip on ice, break hip, die. It's
Yeah.
just 3 things. That's it, right?
Yeah.
And so I moved him down, and he bought the ranch that I now have.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
That's awesome.
yeah, no shit. Are we live in the
So-
hive?
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, we are. We're probably waiting for people to
Yep. No, we're
pile
good.
on.
We're good to go.
Pile. We got some folks joining us.
Yep.
Aw. Well, good morning, everyone. Yeah, we look familiar to you. Now, it's been a while since we did. What's it been, a week, Host, since we did a live? in
Just
the hive?
about. Yeah.
Something like that. We're just used to doing 4 or 5 a day, as you know. But we just happen to be in Sierra Vista, and James here gives a call and says, oh, I got this situation. I mean, tell everybody what the hell happened.
I was like halfway through my Egg McMuffin, which is still in there. And starting Monday, I started noticing some bees, like a few, like maybe 10. I thought they were flies, and I was like talking to my girlfriend, and it's like, do you see all those flies out there? And then, Tuesday, Wednesday, it started to become clear that they were bees. Yesterday, it was probably 30, 40 that I saw.
Increase.
Came home from getting my Egg McMuffin and looked out the back window, and tens of thousands. I've never seen anything like
That was just a little bit ago.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I had actually someone scheduled that I managed to get on the phone in Phoenix, and they were going to come down tomorrow, and I was like,
Oh my God.
no, I got to take care of this. So
Yeah.
I gave you a call, and
Yeah.
and
And we happen to be here
yeah,
in Sierra Vista.
thank God.
Anyway, yeah. And so what he saw, what I was explaining, and we'll go back and verify, clarify, rectify, and horrify this, is he saw a swarm leaving his wall. So they're in a stucco wall.
Yeah, a little decorative wall about 3 feet high.
All right, but he said it's about 30 feet long.
30 feet long. Yeah. The whole length of the house.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And so it's a built on like 2x8s or 2x6s or something.
Yeah.
And so it's hollow in there. Of course, you guys have seen, we do this all the time. They're in parapets, any hollow wall, basically. And so that's what's going on with this. And they're coming and going from a corner, you think, where it butts up to a block fence?
Yeah, it's not a corner. It's just right under where the stucco meets the concrete slab.
All right.
So,
And are they coming out pretty much at ground level? Or?
yep.
Oh, it's even more dangerous because anything eye level and below is they hate it when you get in their flight path.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just hate it. It's not, it can be less dangerous up there. Doesn't mean they're not going to kill you.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Because as you know, and James shocked the shit out of me when we were sitting in the parking lot up here, and he said, "Oh, I've been watching your shit when I was moved down here a year ago. I was watching yours." I was like, "Awesome!"
Yeah, I've
Holy
been
crap.
watching for a couple of years from
Oh.
Indiana, and then I started to piece together. I was like, "Yeah, I think he's in Sierra Vista on this video." And so, as soon as this started to become a problem, I was like, "I need to get a hold of this killer bee guy." So, yeah.
Wow, awesome. Well, thanks. Our timing was amazing. We were like 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
As you guys know, in Cochise County, it's usually at least an hour.
Mhm.
It's a huge county.
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord,
And bless my mom, she's 76. She's stubborn as hell, and she, I started saying like, "Don't go near this area," and she grabbed a net, put it over her head, and I was like,
Oh,
no.
Grab your camera when that shit happens, James. Are you kidding me? Oh, we have seen the damnedest homemade bee suits. I mean, a window screen, duct tape, snorkel.
Yeah.
I am not shitting you, brother.
That's the worst idea.
Oh
Snorkel, what
my
the hell?
God. In the instruction, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
all. Oh my God. Mom.
Yeah, the snorkel's a terrible
But
idea.
the
Yeah.
snorkels.
Right
Because
in
they'll
the mouth.
they'll pile right in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
of course,
that's
you
a
know,
straight. That's
it's
a
like,
highway
well,
to.
can't see me.
Yeah, highway to your lungs.
Oh my God. Anyway, Killer Bee Nation, I'm Reed Booth, Killer Bee Guy here in Sierra Vista. We're in Cochise County, the Wild West, of course. Hosh is manning the camera. Say
Yeah.
good morning, Hosh.
Sure. Good morning, Hosh.
Oh, good. You've been rehearsing. That's good. I'm glad to see that. It came off really good that time, actually. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
think we have to do
Confident.
a take two or anything.
I'm trying to be a
Worked
little
out
more
well. The confidence.
assertive.
Assertive, yes. The confidence level has
Assertive,
gone up a lot. Anyway, well, as you know, we're documenting this, Killer Bee Nation. Hey, welcome back live from the Hive. We're so glad to have you guys along with us. We're gonna cuss and swear and educate everybody all right through the Hive here. It sounds like a new conceal from what we're talking about because we're not gonna tear the wall down. Because if we don't have to, we won't. You know, I mean, there's no reason to. If it's, as you guys know, if it's in a POS shed, which is a pretty old shed, POS.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I got it.
Okay. Anyway, and we can tear the floor up. You guys have seen it 1,000 times. So this one, though, very interesting because from what James was describing to me, they didn't just move in because when they first move in, you've got a swarm, 7,000 to 10,000 bees. Well, they move in all at once. You know, they don't move in a dozen at a time. And we've watched a ball like that disappear into a hole the size of your thumb in 30 seconds. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
They act as an organism. Well, then the queen starts laying eggs at the rate of 2,000 a day. Every damn day. And then they start hatching in 3 weeks. So it takes a while then to get up to swarming level where they have an excess of bees in the hive, which this time of year is springtime in the Rockies. She'll lay more eggs so that it overpopulates the hive so that they can overpopulate the neighborhood. It's ridiculous. This really points up the fact that if you have a hive, if you know you have a hive in your shed or in your backyard or whatever, get rid of the damn thing. You know, it's really good. That
It's your civic duty.
Yeah. So they, so what he saw, I think anyway, is his hive dividing and conquering. You looked out and there's 10,000 bees in the air out of your backyard.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Well, I don't think I've ever even been able to film that because you don't know when it's going to happen, first
Right.
of all.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off. 10
Yeah.
minutes on.
And then they were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they could be back there again right now.
Right. So we're going to find that out. Killer Bee Nation, welcome. Oh, one really important thing that I got for you. Hold on a second here. Don't go anywhere because we got to get the important shit out of the way, James. You know what I mean. Oh, yes. And now a word from our sponsor.
There you go.
What is that, kids? Is that honey? Yes, it is. Go to killerbeeguy.com and get some honey now. Do it now. Do it again. Do it in front of me. All right, guys. Anyway, James, we got a jar of honey for you.
Oh, awesome. Thanks so
Right on.
much.
Now, I do have to warn you one thing about Killer Bee honey. It's good for your stinger.
Okay.
And I do have 100% honey back guarantee. Never mind. I'll let you go. Anyway, shenanigans. Well, let's go back and take a peek at what you got going on.
All right.
Here we go, Killer Bee Nation. Beautiful day. Beautiful in the sense that it's going to be 90?
Yeah.
93 today.
No,
Wow.
93.
Yeah.
Wait, last week I had the heat on. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Last night.
last night.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't need
Well-
to forgive the state of my backyard.
No, don't worry about it. Oh, look at this. It's beautiful, man.
All right. So I'm terrified.
Oh, they're right by the door here?
No, they're not. They are.
Oh, good.
That's my dog.
Okay, I see
That's
him.
my dog Donut.
Yeah. I'm going to walk.
So right where that wicker basket thing is, the
Uh-huh.
pillar right there.
Yeah.
On the other side of that is where they're coming in and out.
Underneath here.
Yep.
Okay, got it. All right. So interesting, guys. So I saw a couple going in there. Yeah, where there's smoke, there's fire. We will do a quick scout around to make sure the ball of bees didn't decide to stay here.
Sure.
Because they will land 5 feet away or a half a mile away.
Right.
It makes zero sense.
I mean,
You know, but then again, the only thing we know for sure about these things is two things. They're unpredictable and they can kill you.
yeah, I mean, okay, so over the last couple days, right now is the most I've seen, except for the 100,000 that I just saw swimming.
You know where they landed?
Holy shit!
Okay.
How about if you go inside, brother?
Yes, I think I'll
Okay,
do
watch
that.
out the window. If you hear what sounds like a little girl screaming, it's both of us.
Wow.
And we're on YouTube.
All right.
Wow.
Killer Bee Nation, I think we found this is how sneaky. Can you guys see that right there? Yeah, we ain't doing shit without everything on. Holy cow! So we'll talk about not going far. Can everybody see that, Hosh?
Right.
Yeah. So Hosh put the camera down and it's getting his net on right now. He's like, screw
So
this.
let me ask you, do we have a hive in this
Yes.
wall and
Yes.
that swarm there?
Yes, and I see bees on the outside of this wall also, and I don't know what's going on with that. So talk everybody through this stuff. I'm going to make a run to the truck.
Yeah,
And
sure.
maybe now that you have your net on,
Yeah.
you can see what's going on by the wall also, and tell
Yeah.
everybody. That was a little bit of a shocker.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah. So when James called us, he said, I've got 1 million
I'll
bees
be
in
back in a
there.
minute.
And
Holy
we
crap,
quickly
noise.
deduced that what was going on is he had an established hive, which is actually in this wall here, that was swarming. So that's a baby hive, and there's a queen bee in there. In fact, it's the old queen. Boy, that's a lot of bees. So they got quiet. Now, 10 minutes ago, they were all in the air. And then they came in and gathered up right there, and they're making plans. Meaning, where are they going to go? What are they going to do? Wow, guys. This is the kind of stuff, man. Really dangerous situation for James. And I'm really glad we were just down the street when he called. Now, in addition, we've got in this wall here, we've got another hive, the original hive. Where their front door is the question. Well, I am not seeing another entrance. Wow, guys, can you believe that? They would easily take out a horse. You know, the problem with horses is horses that get stung by killer bees frequently will die, not because of number of stings or anything like that. They'll have heart attack. So they'll get stung a couple times and then they'll have a heart attack and die. So, yeah, it's an ongoing issue.
The doctor is in.
Now,
Saying.
I couldn't find another hive in this wall.
Okay, well, let's take our working time.
Right.
I brought your gloves.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Good grief, that shocked the shit out of me,
Yeah,
Killer Bee
right.
Nation.
Right.
Holy cow. My God, well, they didn't go far. What did I say, 5 feet? And there they are?
Right.
All right, well, we're going to have to stare at this a bit more. They could be behind this.
Yeah, I moved it out, but let's see.
Yeah, well, like I said, one thing at a time.
Right.
Holy crap, Killer Bee Nation. Wow. All right, I'm going to get my shit together. What's it like? Now, you guys know the routine on this, and I got to tell you, this is very unusual where we actually get to see where a swarm landed. This is really kind of bizarre. I'm just going to get set up here a little bit.
One. It's a pretty big one.
It's a pretty big one, all right. But you know, I'm just...
on the other side of the wall, where the bushes are.
Oh, the entrance is on the other side?
Yep.
Okay,
on the
thank
other side.
you.
It's in the rosemary, right, James?
Right where that,
Yeah.
right
So
where
it's-
that pillar is.
Gotcha.
Okay, got it. So now we know where the entrance to the hive is. Hi, everyone. I am not going to show everyone how aggressive they can be because we're in a neighborhood here. If we're in the middle of nowhere, I do a little breath test on them. In fact, I have to make sure I don't breathe on them. And it's not because I have bad breath. It's because they hate the CO2 coming out of your nose and mouth. There are 7,000 to 10,000 bees here. Now, when we've done smaller swarms, you know, like the trampoline one, and people are always like, oh, there's not 3,000 or 4,000 bees there. Yeah, you can buy a 3-pound swarm You can buy one online, and that's how many is in a 3-pound swarm, and that's how big it is. This is 7 to 10,000 bees. So what we're going to, these are all Africanized, all right? Now, since they're behaving a little bit here and not lighting up, I want to talk to everybody about this for a second. Because everybody will say, oh my God, why are you killing honeybees? Why? You could have relocated those. Couldn't you requeen them? You know, and why would you need to? Why don't you call a beekeeper to come and get them? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, first of all, they look the same. These are Africanized honeybees. That's according to the laboratories in Tucson, not us. They won't even take samples anymore. So that's one thing checked off the list, all right? They look exactly the same, and as is testament right now, how they're behaving at any given moment has nothing to do with their genetics. Just like a Rottweiler, one Rottweiler is really mean, one's really nice. One Labradoodle is really nice, one's really mean. Their genetics are the same, okay? Temperament and behavior are not, it has nothing to do with their genetics within one species. All right, so they look exactly the same. Kind of a fooler, huh? And also, they, how they're behaving right now means nothing about their genetics. The problem is that they have the potential to go completely insane. And as you guys have seen, you can watch any of our vids. I mean, check out Worst Bees Ever, period. Check out Dragoon Baptist bees. Check out almost any of them, actually. But we do have swarms like this that are not aggressive, and it's a really good lesson because they're still Africanized and you can't risk it. So if people are saying, why don't you requeen them? Well, yeah, we could, and it works. And I used to, actually, until I learned, you see I'm kind of talking away from them because I don't want to breathe on them because they attack CO2 coming out of your nose and mouth. I used to requeen and do all that shit. Okay, this is a deadly invasive species. That's right. Now, honeybees don't belong in the Western Hemisphere. There were no honeybees in the state of Arizona before 1872, ever. So they don't belong here. Honeybees, European honeybees, are a destructive invasive species, whereas Africanized are a deadly invasive species. Now, why do we say that European honeybees are destructive? Don't they pollinate? Yes, they do. But remember, invasive. An invasive species has never benefited the native environment that it's invaded, ever. So these guys compete with native pollinators, which are on the decline across the country. When you hear people talking about the great decline of bees, what they're actually talking about is native bees. Now, native bees are not honeybees, all right? But if there is a huge decline of honeybees, it's because they're European honeybees and they're raised by the big boys. Let the big boys do it, all right? That's their job. They take bees around for pollination, and that's where a small percentage of our food comes from, about 7%. It's not 30% like everybody says. And so if you've got 1,000 acres of watermelons, you need honeybees to pollinate because they're Vikings, because they're hoarders. And whereas if you've got a small backyard garden or all of our native plants, then native pollinators are the only way to go. There are no more bumblebees in Tucson because of these guys. They killed them all off. Just because these guys are not behaving aggressive right now means nothing. They're genetically Africanized. So everybody's still wearing their Winnie the Pooh glasses, is what I call it, because they're so convinced that these things are so damn wonderful. They're not. They're an invasive species. I don't know what part of that people don't get. And anybody that argues with me online about in the comments, please do a Google search before commenting, because we don't want you to look that, slow, that special, Now, we already have a bee attacking the cameras. So you know what that means? I'm going to get on it. Because we don't want this to light up or the swarm over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this whole thing up and put it in the bucket. You're going to hit? Yeah. Okay. To make it safer and hopefully not get these guys, because I want them all in the bucket. Looking good?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So now, because this is like an onion, there are layers, and we don't want them to light up, I'm going to use my spray adhesive to coat them so they can't just explode. Because they will. We've seen it 1,000 times, and you've seen it. Now, it's not that they will right now, it's that they could. With these Africanized bees, if they could, we don't want anything to do with it. Now, they're still not exploding on us, and that's because we're so good looking. Actually, it's because we're professionals and know what the hell we're doing. So I am just basically making it so they can't fly. This is not killing them, but it's making it so they can't fly, and yes, then we will kill them. So I'm going to get out my Pendona and start treating them that way. All right, here goes some more. All right, so there's still a few flying around. Again, genetics has nothing to do with their behavior at this exact point in time. So now this is a pyrethrin. Yes, they're lighting up now, but anybody that flies out in the field or anything will die. This does not hurt the plant, blah, blah, blah. Everybody out there, read your labels, okay? Do everything according to labels, because the labels are law. Now, we're gonna just make it so that any of these bees that are flying around here will die in a minute, and the ants will get them. Also, the pyrethrin that we use goes inert in a minute. So it's really a kind of a moot subject. And, we actually teach for the state, for licensing, continuing education. We teach fire departments, first responders, how to deal with stinging incidents when they come upon them. So all of these bees that are crawling around, it's a moot subject. All the bees that are flying off will die in the field in 2 seconds. So we're gonna get all these guys down here. And that one is pretty much over. All right, all these remnant bees, and you'll see this when we do the other one. Are they all over there?
Oh, there's a little bit on that far side.
The far side. Don't you miss that. Whoops, I think I broke it. Ah, it's brittle. All right, here we go. All right, so now we'll make it. Any of these bees cannot go start a new hive. They cannot join another hive. They couldn't even go back to their own hive.
No.
You realize that?
No, they wouldn't let him in.
They wouldn't let him in.
They'd kill him at the door.
They are already a separate entity. It's just like, you know, I don't know, horrible analogy. When you have a baby, it's a one-way street.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that, okay?
Yeah, except the baby doesn't typically want to fight with the mom.
Well, these guys would kill each other.
Yeah, they would.
Well put. Yeah. Good thought. So these guys are all dying and dead. And that's a good thing because, again, deadly invasive species. Keep that in your brain, everyone. It's just...
No, it won't kill the plant.
No.
He didn't target the plant at all.
No, and it won't kill the plant. It won't even hurt the plant. They've really gotten a long way with the chemistry on pesticides. Thank God. So it makes it a lot easier for us if you read your labels.
Only if you read your labels.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course. So anybody got any questions or? I still don't know why we're so good looking, so just leave that one alone. Anyway,
Now we got a hive on the other side here.
Yeah, it looks like a kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm glad about?
What?
That while we were doing that, they didn't light up. Now I've seen this where, you know, the hive outside.
Right, of course.
I've seen this where immediately after swarming, which this is amazing, we're like a half an hour away from this happening.
Right.
And they only went 5 feet.
Yeah.
Boy, that's amazing. I'm amazing. How
Yes.
do I do it?
I don't know how you do it.
I
Lord.
don't either. It's exhausting. So they came out of here. This wall is hollow. I mean, there's about 1,000 bees in there. So let's take our little bucket of joy and go outside here and see what the hell's going on. Has anybody got anything for us, Hosh?
No, not really any questions.
All right.
It's hard to see the screen too, you know.
We don't use smoke. If it worked, we'd use it.
Wow, that's a beautiful pool.
Yeah, it is gorgeous.
It's really lovely.
Man, I'd be floating around in that son of a gun. Where are they? They're right here. See it right here. This is kind of a pain. Well, this isn't rosemary. I thought it was. All right. Now this is a different animal. All right. It's still as deadly. Everybody used to think that a swarm was not deadly. It is. All right. Swarms flying by have been attacking people and provoked. Let's see. Where the hell are we here?
Lois is out of town right now. She'll be back. She'll be back.
Yeah, Lois.
They are in all the lower 48 states, including Iowa. Yes, it's just a question of saturation rates. So here in Arizona, 100% of the feral unmanaged honeybee hives are Africanized. We don't ask questions, we don't test, we don't measure, we just know because this was confirmed
We
by...
already did all that.
We did it. It's over. Exactly. That was all done back in the 90s.
It's 100%.
We're
They don't go
100%
backwards.
here.
They don't go
Yeah,
the
it
other way.
doesn't go the other way. This is the better bee.
fact,
This
they're
bee
getting
wins.
worse.
Yeah, they are getting
If that's
worse.
possible.
Uh,
All right, I'm not seeing a hive yet.
was it here, maybe?
It might be there. Well, it kind of looks like there's a lot of activity over there. as you guys know, sometimes we have to search around and see if we can locate. I mean, they're here somewhere because there's a lot of activity.
Right. Well, do you want me to get in there and kind of?
Well, either
Or
way,
you,
I mean,
you do.
just gotta keep looking.
So yeah, they're in Iowa. They're in Rhode Island. They're in, you know.
They killed that. What was that stinging
Connecticut.
incident in New Hampshire?
Yeah. They killed a beekeeper in Connecticut. It's just a question of saturation rates. For
I'm
example,
getting
the saturation rates in Connecticut are obviously not 100% amongst feral hives.
Okay, at this point, I'm not seeing any ingress and egress,
No.
which is a fancy way of saying in and out.
Right.
All right, now another thing, I'm gonna go this way. I'm kind of seeing too much activity for there not to be anything, right?
Right.
And at the same time, I was looking to see if they're landing it all on, because these are some of the evergreens that they like to collect the nectar from.
Right.
Well, they're not doing that,
No.
right?
No.
And so I'm also looking up and down and all around.
That was good. I liked your little waggle
Up
dance there.
And down and all around. So we're just looking for.
I'm positive I saw them going in and out.
Well, we're trying to find out where.
Yeah.
So far, I don't see any ingress and egress.
I wish I could get out there.
Well,
and show you exactly where it was.
Virginia, yeah, I mean, I said all the lower 48 states. I
Yeah,
believe
James.
last time I checked, Virginia was one of the lower 48.
James
So,
just said that he wished he could come out and show us right where they were.
Right.
Yeah, not so much, you know.
Yeah.
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 we're
Now we'll
gonna keep
find
looking
them.
Because, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see them. We'll just go all along and locate.
But I don't know
them.
what the percentage of Africanization is in Virginia. You know, that's what I can't tell you.
Yeah, it may not be 100%.
But check, you know, check with your, check your Department of Ag. They have stats a lot of times.
No one's keeping records.
Yeah.
Our information about where they are in the Western Hemisphere, as how far north they've gone, because they started in Brazil, comes from people on the ground that have usually paid for testing themselves, which is expensive AF, which is aforementioned.
Yes.
Anyway, because there is no state entity, county entity, no extension office, no university that I know of that's doing any genetic testing anymore, because all of the feral honeybee hives, if they are not Africanized now, they will be shortly. Now, a few years ago, I was giving it a 8-year timeline. I think we're down to 4 years now, 4 or 5 years before all of the feral hives in the lower 48 are Africanized.
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
they crossbreed and they're so much better at everything they do.
What we can tell you, we don't know what the percentage is in Illinois. We don't know.
No one does.
What we can tell
There's no
you
one
is
following that information.
nobody's
Nobody's keeping track.
of it.
No
What
one's
we
keeping
can tell you though is in the desert
Russian roulette.
southwest, it's 100%. So that means in New Mexico, it's 100%. In West Texas, it's 100%.
Right where you are right now. That's exactly where I saw them coming in and out.
All right.
And I think I just saw one crawl up in there.
Yeah. So really what we're looking at is south of the Mason-Dixon line, pretty much guaranteed to be Africanized if you see a feral hive.
See here, I think I did. I've got to really stare at this. See if I can locate. So even though the sun is shining, I'm going to get my flashlight. So I can focus back in there. If you want to take a look around while I'm getting the flashlight.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's just too much activity out here.
Oh yeah.
And see, there's no activity down here.
Well, yeah.
So it's all up there.
Right. So we're trying to find that hive, guys. He knows there's a hive in this wall somewhere. Although that feels pretty tight. I've got a finger running up top, James. Are you still there? Yeah. And I'm not seeing anybody coming and going. So the main thing to keep in mind is feral honeybees, whether they're European or Africanized, are always problematic. That's the thing to get. I know there's people relocating and patting themselves on the back, and
That was where the stucco meets the concrete.
Yeah, up top.
No, down.
Down below. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
We're looking. I'm not seeing.
I saw probably 4 or 5 of them coming in and out.
Right. You know, the thing is with these hedges like this, they produce a lot of sap,
Yeah.
and so you may have seen foragers coming in and taking.
Oh, okay.
You know, rather than actual ingress egress.
Well, you have my permission to cut down anything you need to.
All right. Well, we won't if we don't have to. So we're gonna see here.
Anything yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
So again, European honeybees. A feral European honeybee hive is hoarding the resources in its, in a 2-mile radius of the hive, and they are starving out native bees, native pollinators. An Africanized honeybee hive is doing the same with the additional
You
bonus.
thought right here, James, right?
Yeah.
What's that?
You thought right here?
Yes.
Right, very good.
And he thought the entrance was low.
Okay, well, it looked at it would be
Third
pretty,
or second.
be pretty much where it would have to be is low. Low down.
That's where I saw a few go in and out, and then I took
Yeah,
them.
by you're saying not a significant issue. Well, it is in the sense, Virginia is saying this, okay. I'm sure she says a lot of things. But they are present there. It's just they're not a significant issue yet. What that means is that your saturation rates are probably under 50%. What you need to understand is this bee wins. This bee dominates ecosystems. This bee wins. It has no natural, it's a better bee. It has no natural predators except drought.
They're better and bitter.
They don't get sick. The only chance of a population of these things going, the other direction is drought. And now we live in drought out here. We've been in a drought for decades, and they're proliferating.
This year is really bad.
This year is very bad.
And it doesn't make any difference.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, if all else fails, ring the doorbell.
Yeah, go ahead, ring it. But again, the Africanized honeybees, all the problems that a feral European hive has, with the additional bonus that they'll kill you. They'll kill your dog, they'll kill your goat.
Okay, can you hand me a Fendona with a straw?
Yeah, absolutely. Have you got, you've got a hole?
And there's a little bit of staining around it.
Got it.
And because I just warmed a few minutes ago,
Yep.
there is a little bit of staining, so I think I found it.
Okay.
But nobody, I think they're all in congratulating each other on the successful,
On the swarm.
on the swarm, yeah.
It's a boy, they yelled.
It's a bunch of girls.
It is a bunch of girls. Yeah.
So yeah, get a straw on that, please, so I can direct it.
Yep.
Yeah, they're all undeveloped females. I'm not going to go any further with that.
No, don't. Here. Let me
I'm gonna
hand you
sneeze.
this.
Thank you.
And then I'm gonna go around the wall.
Okay.
Get you from above. All right, everybody.
I think I got some pollen in this stuff going on,
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go. Okay, I'm going to try to find where I was looking at. All right, so if they're not attacking in full force, I'm going to take the big blues off, which of course will encourage them. All right. All right, anybody else got any thoughts of wisdom for us? Or are we the only ones?
It's really hard for me to see the screen, to be honest. But yeah, the main thing to get is feral honeybees, no matter their flavor, in the Americas, feral honeybees are bad.
Found it. I'm in there. Yeah, because they're invasive.
They're invasive.
Okay.
They compete with the native bees. There's 4,000 species of native bees in North America alone.
Yeah, about
4,000 different kinds of native bees. Now, none of those 4,000 are honeybees, stinging honeybees.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You got it in there?
No, it's a pain in the ass because I can't see it.
Yeah, yeah.
And they'll there. I think I'm close. Yeah, I think I'm in there now. I think.
And Western Pennsylvania, you'd know better than me. You would know better than me. Do you have a lot of feral honeybees out there?
For God's sake. Well, I found the hole,
Yeah.
and I'm hoping to kill guard bees, etc., before they can even come out and do anything. But I'm I'm getting it right in there. We're soaking it. I'm sorry you guys can't come down here with me, but it's just, you know, only so much room. You know what I'm gonna do after this, host, is I'm
What?
gonna caulk it.
Okay.
I brought the caulk gun,
All right.
but I do need the defoam.
Gotcha. Okay, I'll grab it for you.
But this is where it is. He was right.
Yeah.
It just, you know, and I've seen this before with swarming. It's very rare.
They get quiet after.
Yep. They're in having a
Yeah,
little,
I get quiet after I swarm
having a
too.
baby shower, post birth baby shower.
Post coitus.
Well, there were 10,000 births. How exciting! Congratulations,
Yeah,
Mom.
they're sleeping now.
Congratulations, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I need
Oh,
the default.
I got it. Yep.
And so, oh, come on.
Here you go.
All right, make sure this is working. Yep. All right, so, yeah, I can't show you what's going on here. You see, I got about 2 square inches here to work with. I'm gonna put this defoam in there. So, I have seen this, and I used to see it with my own eyes.
Over here.
Anyway, I've seen this with my own hives when I used to have European and Africanized hives. That was 35 years ago. Before I realized that honeybees are invasive species, so I went, oh, I'm wrong. Yeah, that's right, I was wrong. And I changed my way of thinking about it, and now we're saving native pollinators, which I thought I was doing before I learned the truth. Learned the truth. All right, so, yeah, there's actually a bee just crawled out. A bee just crawled out of their host. We
Wow.
found it. Yeah. Oh, more than one. Here they come.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found it. 2 bees just crawled out of here. So they were in having a party, and now I gotta find that damn hole again. God, they will come and go from this. Oh, there it is. Found it. Oh, working. All right, we're filling that void up with this foam, you guys.
I can hear it.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised we can't hear any bees buzzing. So what I'm going to do then is it's going to be a pain in the ass. We're going to caulk this up because, and people will ask, won't they chew through it? Dead things can't chew. Won't they move? Dead things can't move. Blah, 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 blah. But they sure do manage to get into the damnedest places, don't they? You know, I'm so glad that we were in town and James called us because I think we might have saved his dog's life. And, or if he, does he have one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Saved everyone's life. That's all we do, host. Just save
Saving
everyone's
lives.
life.
Just saving lives.
Oh, it's exhausting.
And warning the neighbors.
Swarming the neighbors. I mean, warning. All right, so there's still going to be remnant bees. Even though they just swarmed, there's still bees out working in the field. That's what we could see all that activity about. These guys do not take a break, that's for sure. After this, we're going up to Huachuca City. And we'll see if there's any film up there, Killer Bee Nation. I don't know. We'll have to go up and see. Damn it. All right, so now we're going to seal the bees in. Because if the bees are dead and the door is closed, nobody new can move in. This is a real issue with these bees because wherever, especially this hive for them to swarm had to be here for a while.
Yeah, of course.
And just because someone just noticed it a few days ago doesn't mean shit. They could have been here. But, you know, I've seen it, we've seen it, where people will say, well, I noticed them last week, we'll tear that floor up of that shed. And it's 10 feet of comb in the damn thing. They had to be there for years.
Of course.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. We just got to get rid of them one way or the other. Deadly invasive species. Every week in Cochise County in the summer, they kill a dog, a horse, or a goat. I'm not sure why people still find these things romantic, but I guess Winnie the Pooh glasses, huh, Hosh?
Well, thousands of years of coevolution.
You know, that is a good point, because where humans and honeybees are from are the same.
Right. Well, where European humans are from.
Well,
Yeah.
all humans started in Africa.
Well, that's fair. Right.
And from what they can tell, so did honeybees.
Right.
Around Egypt area, right?
Yep.
Around the Nile.
Mm-hmm.
And not the D-Nile, that's the other river.
No.
And so people and humans have had this relationship with honeybees. I think that's part of the reason, I think you're right, Hosh, why especially, well, no, all humans actually have a real problem understanding that just because you think that something is awesome and great doesn't mean it belongs in where you've chosen to settle or where you were born. I mean, these are invasive here. They don't belong here. They belong in Europe, Asia, and Africa, period. They don't belong here. And so they did not migrate here on their own. They were brought here in the early 1600s, or the earliest recorded facts, all right, letters sent back to England and Europe from the settlers on the East Coast saying, send my bees. There are none here. No honeybees.
Jamestown, Virginia was number one. Or Jamestown Colony, 1622.
Yep, that was it. Number one. That's
And by
right.
1789, they found feral honeybees living in Maine. No, they didn't find wild honeybees. There's
There
no
aren't
such
any.
thing as wild honeybees in North America. They found feral hives. Now, they brought them in, to Jamestown. They brought them into Massachusetts. There's a few key places where they kept importing hives, but then they took care of them, and then those hives swarmed.
They brought them over on covered wagons, for God's sake.
Right,
They
right.
brought them into California in 1850 for the gold rush.
Yeah.
They brought their honeybees with them.
Yeah, I think Michael Landon might have been part of that.
Oh, that's awesome.
And John Boy, the
And
two
oh,
of
of
them
course, John
together.
Boy.
Yes, they all
Yeah.
helped.
Night, John Boy.
John Boy and Michael Landon.
Also, somebody comments, oh my God, you people, when you say that chickens are invasive, no, they're not. Chickens are a non-native species, and they're totally man-made like these guys.
Yeah, and
but
go
they're
ahead
non-native.
Go ahead and release chickens into
The wild.
any wild area
And they will
around
die.
you. You won't have chickens for very long.
Right, so that's the difference between a non-native and an invasive species. Non-native means they're not from there, but they can't survive without your care. Okay, like horses are. I mean, horses can, but they're not to the extent that these bees can. They're very limited. You'll see a hive of a swarm of horses. But like cows, you leave cows go out and they'll roam the countryside. But if the rancher is not making sure that the mountain lions aren't killing them, the basic difference between a native and an invasive species is a native species. If you want to, you can keep it in your backyard. It doesn't need to go torture the neighbors. Invasive species, honeybees, these need a 2 to 3 mile radius to forage, to wipe out native pollinators, steal their food literally, and their housing literally. That's the difference between native and invasive. Oh, what the hell! All right, I think I got this pretty well sealed up, Hosh.
Okay.
Yeah. So how does that swarm is all dead and gone, right?
Yeah, let's take a look. Oh yeah, it's over. Yep.
All done?
There's only one hanging on in there.
Oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
so scared.
Writing poetry.
Holy cow!
Yeah, I don't know anything about wild horses in Nevada. But we have Africanized honeybees are an issue in Nevada. They found them in Salt Lake City, which, by the way, is a higher latitude than New York City. Fascinating.
Yeah, higher latitude, right?
All right. But yeah,
And a
yeah,
whole different attitude.
whole different attitude.
Whole different latitude, attitude.
Yeah.
Fortitude. All right. So this is looking really good, Killer Bee Nation. This is looking really good. James, you over there? Let's go see if James is over there. I want to
All right.
tell him what's going on. Although he's probably watching. Oh, there you are. Anyway, all right, brother. Wow, were you able to watch?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
watching right now.
Awesome! Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
What a deal, huh?
Yeah.
You had basically a little Nat Geo moment, brother. It
Absolutely.
was like, I'll never forget that. It was so much fun because it's so rare
Yeah.
when we'll get a call, like once every 5 years or something, where somebody will say, oh my God, there's a cloud of bees. Well, we hear that once in a while. But for us to get there and walk around, holy shit, there they are.
Yeah. Yep.
That was a little eye-opener,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
I mean, listen, I'll tell you, I've been watching for a couple years now, and
Thank you.
I've been seeing, giant hives and people saying I didn't know they were there, and that's the truth.
Yeah.
When you're
That's
sitting
what
at home
happened.
and watching, it's easy to judge and be like, how the hell did you not know? But
Yeah.
I walk by
Right.
this every, 60 times a day.
Yep.
I had no idea until like 2 days ago, and then today it exploded. So
Right.
The bee bomb went off.
Yeah.
Yes. No, you're right. People can be so judgmental. Thank God they never judge us.
yeah, I don't read the comment section. I stay away from
I
it.
wish I didn't have to. I spend from like usually 4 till 6 every single morning answering comments.
Oh, yeah?
And you know what it makes me think of? Being a grade school teacher.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean that's dedication right there, though.
Either that or poverty.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I mean, we're monetized and shit, but who cares? Right?
So what did you do? Like what? Like are they in there dying or?
Yeah,
what?
they're
Yeah.
dead already.
Okay.
Dead already.
Dead.
Because the same pyrethrin that we use, it's an aerosol and goes throughout the hive. Also, we put what's called defoam, and it's expanding foam, but it doesn't stay expanded like a insulating foam.
Okay.
The reason it expands is it carries the deltamethrin to every nook and cranny, and then when the foam goes down, the deltamethrin stays there, and it's a residual.
Okay. Okay.
So it'll last for a few months, so anything born into that hive will die. Also, we close the door.
Nice. Okay.
So in a month, if you still see activity over there, man, we should probably come take a look at
Okay.
it. You know,
And I tell you, the 2-year warranty, that's kind of a big deal.
2 year.
That's crazy. I mean, everybody else is a month. So.
Total, yeah.
Really?
A month. Did
Yeah,
you hear
yeah.
that?
Wow.
He called around. He had a guy coming down from Phoenix.
Yeah.
Right? That was going to come down tomorrow.
Which is
I don't
like a
know why.
3-4 hour drive.
And he would only guarantee a month?
They can only guarantee a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
So
that's
I mean,
just,
2 years is.
well, it just shows you the size of the cojones.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I'll
Spanish.
agree.
that's
That's Spanish. Here, watch when I walk. Clank, clank, clank.
So how long do I got till these bastards clear out?
A couple of months, no biggie. No,
No, I
anyway.
mean, I was like, I gotta get out there in an hour.
Yeah, I gotta get out there in an hour. You could actually, if I take my net off,
Uh-huh.
probably all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The bees, you got a few of them flying around for the 2 reasons, of course. You swarm,
Uh-huh.
but they're going to be dead, all of them, in the next 15, 20 minutes, just because they all got hit with the aerosol. And then, if you had any bees out foraging, maybe a few, they're going to come back and go land near their front door.
Okay.
Because they don't know anything else, and they're very landmark oriented.
Okay.
They know right where those bushes were, they know right where everything was to go to their front door. It's all pheromones. And so they're going to land at their front door. If there is any kind of a ball of them, it probably won't be a very big one, because they had just swarmed and there weren't hardly any bees out foraging that I could tell. Normal hive will be around 5,000 bees out foraging at any time. Because where you see them coming and going, and I
Yeah.
think I was telling you this, that's the airport, not the city.
Okay.
That's the loading dock.
Okay.
That's all it is. You can't tell the size of Tucson by looking at a picture of its airport. 100,000 bees in there, you know.
Now to get a little more science, when we walked out there and we saw 10,000 of them on a pot, what was that?
Okay, that was actually, I guess the best analogy would be a baby of the mother,
Okay.
literally.
Okay.
But there was a queen in there.
Oh really?
Oh, yes. And so what happens, and this is how if you have a beehive in your backyard, shame on you in the Western Hemisphere, because they're an invasive species.
shame. Shame.
Anyway, and this is not a DIY channel. Don't try any of this shit at
Shame.
home.
And
you
also a
rednecks.
pox on your house.
Goddamn goofballs. Calm down, everybody. Put down the Budweiser. Hold my beer.
Put your Budweiser down.
Oh yeah, swarming. So you've got, and this is how your hive, any hive, can become Africanized if it wasn't beforehand. There are 2 ways. First one is swarming is nature's way of propagating the air with bees. So you've got your hive. When it's time to swarm, the old queen that's already been on her mating flight, there are 3 rooms that are not in the hive. Bedroom, all right, no boudoir, never any sex in the hive.
Okay.
There's no bathroom.
All right.
They'd rather die than shit in the hive.
Okay.
And no cemetery.
Okay.
They take all their dead out.
Yeah.
All right, very fastidious.
Yeah. Very
Super
clean, very
fastidious.
clean. Yeah.
Cleanest things. Bacteria can't live in honey. All right, so that queen that's already been on her mating flight, she chooses and goes with those 7,000 to 10,000 bees to start a new hive. That kind of cuts out on the time she would need to go, go to the nightclub, and have sex with like 3 dozen drones, if you know what I mean. That's the other channel. Calm
Yeah.
down, everyone. All right, so you're in that hive. She's already laid eggs that are in queen cells, and they will be hatched as queens.
Okay.
Now, the first queen that is hatched, if there's more than one, she will go and kill the rest of the queens. Only maybe 1 or 2
Okay.
at the very most. And because it's totally competition, survival of the fittest, she will kill all the competitors. And then she has to go on a mating flight. Here we go. This is how your hive.
This is my
goes.
favorite part. The
Yep.
mating flight
I
is
know,
my favorite
I know.
part.
Close your ears, children.
This is my
All right,
favorite.
so she has to go on a mating flight. It's ugly. Because again, no sex in the hive. She will send out a pheromone. It's all pheromone. Insects are about pheromones. They got no brains. I mean, they're all about pheromones. It's all reaction. That's all it is. It's not interaction, it's reaction. So she'll send out a queen mating pheromone, which we will use if we have like Nat Geo out or Discovery or Animal Planet or something. And they, can you do the beard bees? So, fuck yes, okay. So we got the queen pheromone. I think we're with a European hive. So she goes out, emits this queen pheromone. 2 or 3 dozen drones will catch up with her, mate with her in mid-air. They literally explode and die and leave their genitalia inside of her.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what they were doing, was a beard on the pot.
Yep. That was an old queen with a bunch of bees, and they were gonna go somewhere in the hood and make a new hive and start it again.
Holy crap. Okay. So it's just
Now-
crazy to think that I could have just walked by that. I wouldn't have even.
Right. If you hadn't seen that swarm like that, this might have went on for years.
That's crazy.
Now, another problem with these damned Africanized honeybees is, remember, they're a deadly invasive species. God damn it, I got. They're better at everything. All right, they're literally better at everything. So, how was I going with that? Oh yeah, a European hive. Back when we used to have them, still invasive. They would do that divide and conquer thing 5 or 6 times a year, left to their own devices. These guys, 30 times a year per hive.
Wow.
30 times.
Yeah.
I used to watch my hives when I had them before I realized that honeybees were invasive.
Yes.
Anyway.
Before it's come to Beezus moment.
Huh?
Before you come to Beezus moment.
Jesus moment. Oh my God. A lot of windshield time out here in the desert, I'll tell you. I used to watch my hives swarm once a week.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so we've been here for 35 years in this house. We built this wall 34 years ago.
No, he
Never.
and his dad built this wall.
Yeah. Never a problem before.
Right.
Well, and that'll happen all the time. People will say, I've had that smoker in the backyard for 10 years, and all of a sudden there's bees in it. Or they'll say, we just got it home this morning, and now it's full of bees.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
It's sci-fi.
It's
it
wild.
really is. It's sci-fi. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been a lot of fun. Of course, I'm going to let Hosh do his wrap up because I know he's got a lot to tell you about a wall full of bees. Anyway, James, pleasure to meet you, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. You too. I'm
Yeah.
a little starstruck.
Oh yeah, well it's over now. You know a couple guys. You know
So
a
I guess
couple
I'll
guys.
meet you out front.
Yep,
I'm not coming
absolutely.
back here for a little bit.
He's smarter than I look.
Right.
That was good, actually. All right, buddy, we'll meet you up there.
Alrighty.
All right. Killer Bee Nation, we love you. Go to killerbeeguy.com and get some honey. I got to pull my finger, Hosh said. Woo.
Thank you.
All right. Hosh,
Actually-
do you have anything to say about killer bees and walls and swarming? And oh my God, the activity.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, you want me to hold it? Fine.
If you might. If you mayeth. Hey everybody, listen. If you're in Arizona, 100% of the feral unmanaged honeybee hives here in this state are Africanized. It's been that way here since 1998. Don't mess around. If you see honeybees coming and going or in the air and everywhere, give us a call. We'll come take care of it. In Cochise County, we'll come take care of it. Sometimes we go next door, but Cochise County. Yeah, give us a call. You don't want to mess around with these things. Like I said, Africanized honeybees, deadly invasive species. You are at risk. This gentleman here, his life was literally in danger.
Yep.
It's not an exaggeration. It happens every year.
Yep.
These things are killing people. And in Latin America, every day they're killing people. It's very sad. But that's not the main problem. It's one of the many problems. They're bad for the ecosystem. They compete with the native bees and native pollinators for resources. They inbreed the native plants. They spread invasive plant species. There's 100 reasons to exterminate every one of these hives, and we're on it. Give us a call if you've got honeybees coming and going and you're in Cochise County. We'll see you guys on the next job. Let's save America's native bees. Later on.
Love you guys. We'll see you, I don't know, 20 minutes or tomorrow. I don't know, but 'tis the season, so stick around, guys. Live in the Hive. I'm Reed Booth. That was Hosh. That was James. Those were Killer Bees.